Erik coach who took the Miners of Texas Western before it was even called UTEP to the national championship in 1966. Coming up now, the main event between Erik Morales and Kevin Kelley, as this edition of HBO's Boxing After Dark features identical twin attractions. Two fights in which unbeaten young stars of the sport have a chance to lose against real professional opponents. Twin fights, the second of the two, coming up with love to you right now. And as we get ready to watch Kevin Kelley, Larry Merchant, you can't help but reflect that we've known Kevin for several years. He is, of course, if not the best talker in the sport, certainly among the top 2 or 3. He's been talking retirement for a few years now, even while constructing his broadcasting career to follow his fighting career. He is, as you know, the expert commentator on our KO Nation series. So taking this fight against one of the top fighters in the sport on a month's notice, is it a real fight for Kevin Kelley or just a contribution to his pension fund?
Who knows? Maybe it's his last hurrah. Maybe if he looks bad enough, the Prince will finally give him the rematch that he deserves. An issue for a 33-year-old veteran is really one of commitment. 24/7, as they say these days. Kelley, who was the best American featherweight of the 90s, an irrepressible warrior and conversationalist, admits that now he's down to about 5 and 5, 5 hours a day, 5 days of the week. Just to test figuratively where his commitment is, I asked him the other day, are you prepared to die to win? For the only time we've ever known him, he was momentarily silenced. But that question will be asked by Morales tonight, and he needs to have an answer.
Indeed, a pertinent question, because if ever two fighters have proven that they were prepared to die to win, it was when Erik Morales fought earlier this year on February 19 in Las Vegas against Marco Antonio Barrera. If you saw it, you'll never forget it. It was unquestionably the most vicious warfare to be seen in the ring in recent years. Barrera and Morales went at each other like this virtually through the entire 12 rounds, and though many at ringside felt that Barrera deserved the decision, it was in the end Erik Morales who was given the call in a very close split decision. Some thought it was political. To his great credit, when Erik was asked after the fight about that decision and whether he deserved it, he sort of bypassed the question and said, hey, well, the most important thing is we fought a great fight for the glory of the sport and the honor of Mexico. Emmanuel Stewart, that was only 7 months ago. He's moved up a weight class. He has had one fight in the new weight class. But some people believe that a war like that takes a lot out of a fighter for the rest of his career. Do you think Erik Morales is affected by his war with Barrera as he gets into the ring with Kevin Kelley tonight?
Personally, I don't think that the fight is going to take that much of an effect on him. I think that he has had a proper rest, and the fact that he's fighting in this proper weight division now at 126 pounds is going to be a big asset for him. And you're going to see a good, strong fighter tonight.
And of course, it's partially an audition for Morales, who looks for a shot against Emmanuel's man, Prince Naseem Hamed, and all the big money that would go with that. Kevin Kelley knocked down Hamed 3 times in December of 1997, and he'd like another chance at him, so it's an audition for Kevin as well. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape now for Kevin Kelley against Erik Morales, and you'll see the 9-year age difference, which may or may not be the pertinent stat in the fight. Morales with a 1-inch height advantage, Morales with a 3-inch reach advantage. They have gained only 4 and 6 pounds since yesterday's weigh-in, which indicates that both fighters were in tremendous shape as they came in for this fight. Kevin Kelley says, hey, I'm no last-minute throw-in. I've been training all year. Rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Erik El Terrible Morales Kevin Kelley fight is scheduled for 12 rounds using the unified rules of the Association of Boxing Commissions. There is no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight, and you cannot be saved by the bell in any round, including the 12th and final round. Jim.
All right, Harold. And it's KO Nation time as Kevin Kelley prepares to enter the ring. I feel as though Ed Lover should be here to announce this entrance for him. There's the record since the loss to Prince Naseem.
Kevin, we talked about this, remember?
Of course, one thing we haven't mentioned, Kevin is a southpaw. Morales is a conventional fighter. And sometimes that brings an advantage, although Morales says, southpaws don't bother me. I've been fighting them my whole life in Tijuana. A closer look, Larry Merchant at the Flushing Flash.
This is the 13th year that Kevin Kelley has been a professional. He was a featherweight when he started. Unusually, he is still a featherweight, but he still bristles. He thought because he had to win 36 fights before he could get a shot at the title that was normally owned by Hispanic fighters. So, is this a payback for him for all that frustration he went through, or is it merely a payday?
You heard what Emmanuel Stewart said about Erik Morales and how he does not think Morales will be affected by the war with Barrera coming in. You have a different point of view.
I think that because he's young, he can surely overcome it. But both Morales and Barrera left a piece of themselves in that ring that night, and it takes time to restore yourself. The question then becomes whether Kevin Kelley has enough to exploit that.
El Terrible won his first world championship here in El Paso against Daniel Zaragoza. He is tremendously popular here. Closer look at Erik Morales.
Erik Morales says he will be restored from that brutal fight because of how hard he trains. He used the term Spartan, but also because he took so many punches in that fight, he hired as a part-time trainer Floyd Mayweather Sr. to help him some with his defense. In that fight, Morales and Barrera landed a total of 600 power punches, 50 per round, more than twice the normal number of hard punches landed.
And keep in mind, of course, Floyd Mayweather Sr. is now officially divorced from his son Floyd Jr.'s career. So if Morales were ever to get a shot to fight Mayweather Jr., he might do it with Mayweather Jr.'s father in his corner. While you're watching the fight tonight, log on to HBO.com/boxing, where you'll be able to judge the fights and answer the question, who is the best 126-pound fighter? Is it Prince Nassim Hamed, or is it one of the two recent entrants into the division, Marco Antonio Barrera or Erik Morales? Or you can vote for some other 126-pound fighter as you choose. We'll give you the results at the end of the evening. Now let's go up to ring announcer Michael Buffer to start this one off.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, y ahora, damas y caballeros, Top Rank Incorporated and La Cerveza Más Fina Corona Extra with the Speaking Rock Casino of El Paso present the featured bout of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBC Featherweight Interim World Championship. Sanctioned by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation, Executive Director Bill Kuntz, Boxing Administrator Dick Cole. The scoring for this bout will be done on a 10-point must system. The three judges assigned to ringside are Robert Gonzalez, Sherry Roth, and Pablo Scarco. And when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Lawrence Cole. And now for the thousands in attendance and the millions around the world watching Boxing After Dark on HBO from El Paso, Texas. Let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white, trimmed with blue, and weighing in at 126 pounds. He has a perfect professional record consisting of 37 contests, 37 victories, including 29 knockouts. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the former undefeated super bantamweight champion of the world, de Zona Norte, Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico, Erik El Terrible Morales. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing purple trimmed with orange and weighing in at 126 pounds also. He has an outstanding professional record. 51 victories, including 34 knockouts, with 4 losses and 2 draws. Ladies and gentlemen, from Flushing, New York, here is the former 2-time world champion, the Flushing Flash, Kevin Kelley.
Erik, Kevin, para Olympia, fight clean and good luck. Buena suerte.
Kevin Kelley clearly hopes to use his experience and his southpaw style to outsmart and confuse Morales. But can he outsmart those rocks that will be coming at his head
And
for most of the night?
They will be coming all night. That's the problem.
Kevin? Because Morales is a committed, energetic, hard.
Yes, Erik Morales is a pace setter type fighter. He comes out and he sets the pace. He doesn't wait to react to your action. And Kevin is going to be a little crafty early in the fight. And then he has a rhythm that sometimes throws a lot of fighters off. I know Hamed complained about he had problems getting his own rhythm together because Kevin has his own rhythm.
What about Kevin's chin against Morales' power?
Well, you know, it's a new division for Morales right now, moving up. He's fighting with bigger guys, and sometimes bigger guys can take the punch a lot better than those smaller guys. Kelley's problem to me has not been so much his chin. As a lot of times as fights move on, he has a tendency often to swell around his eyes, and that could be a factor too possibly in the fight.
And also to get emotionally involved and start to exchange.
Well, that's something he shouldn't do. He should keep the fight at the same tempo that it's going right now to his advantage, but I don't think Morales is going to permit that to happen.
First loss of Kevin Kelley's career took place here in Texas when his eyes swelled so badly against Alejandro Gonzalez that he was blinded in the fight and simply was unable to continue.
Kevin is switching around. If you notice, he surprised as he changed into his standard right-hand stance for a moment.
Relatively tentative first round.
Well, Morales' best punch is his right hand. He's really throws sometimes too many right hands, and that's very good, particularly for fighting a southpaw.
I call him the Air Force.
That's the right hand right there.
When he's really on and he's landing hard with the right hand, he loves to bring it straight over the top, like Sandy Koufax throwing a fastball.
But he's fighting and delivering the right hand the proper way for a southpaw. Today he shoots the straight right hand right through the center with almost the same form that you would shoot a right jab. Because normally he throws overhand rights, which would not be effective with a southpaw.
Morales, trained by his father, who actually hoped at one point that Erik wouldn't become a professional boxer. Then he matched him with tough opponents early in his pro career and saw how easily Erik won, and he said, well, I'm wrong. Let's let him fight.
What's interesting is that Morales is getting very close before he punches. He isn't throwing punches from the distance where Kelley could time him. He's actually moving in and goes into a bob and weave motion and then punches, which doesn't give Kelley the time to anticipate and get away from his punches.
Kelley lands a left hand. Morales fires back with a right. One of the things you saw in Morales Barrera is that if you hurt Erik, if you hit him, he wants to come back right away. Big right hand by Morales there.
He's putting a lot more pressure on Kelley than Kelley wanted.
Hard left hand by Morales.
Good round for Morales.
Yep.
Good round.
Rallied in the last minute of the round to win it. And as we go to Morales' corner where they speak Spanish, our interpreter is the great Ray Torres.
Lower your arms. How do you feel in the distance? You got to take the distance so you can do better. You're going to do great if you stay at a distance. Let's take a deep breath. You won the first round.
Respira. Dame una respiradita. Okay, perfect.
You that he's got to be worried about, not us worried about him. Do you understand? You got that, right? Deep breath. Little baby keep. Okay? Whose time is this?
Emmanuel, you were saying that because Morales was getting so close to Kelley, Kelley couldn't see what was coming at him, but Morales' corner seemed to suggest that they wanted more distance between him and Kelley.
Well, I think that's a mistake. I think Morales is fighting the perfect fight. He's getting very close with, and most southpaws are basically counter punches. Most all southpaws are counter punches. And by getting close to him before he punches and going into a little weave motion, it's not giving Kelley the time to get away from the punches. The old trick in boxing, if you're fighting a southpaw, it's always you say crowding, pressuring.
CompuBox numbers in the first round tremendously one-sided. Morales landing 16 of 44. Kevin Kelley only seemed to have landed 4 of 60 punches. And there's a big right hand by Morales straight up the gut, and the uppercut lands too. Kevin Kelley taking some thunder early on.
But all of these punches are short punches, and whenever he shoots the long punches, Kelley usually can counter punch or get away from him.
Bill Borgia telling Kevin Kelley he should have to worry about us. We don't have to worry about him. Easier said than done with a fighter of Morales' talent.
Is that another way of saying to Kevin, you got to throw more punches?
So once again, Kelley got to conventional right-hand position again.
And Kelley watches as Morales.
I don't think the right-hand position is effective. You notice he only turns in that position, but he doesn't punch or do anything effective from the position. Much similar to Shane Mosley when he fought Oscar De La Hoya. He switched to southpaw position, but never did punch effectively from that position.
Yeah, but Kelley is now trying to fire back rather than just elude Erik. He's a little bit more into it right now.
Morales still landing the more solid punches, particularly that straight right hand, which Emmanuel pointed out early in the fight, a little different from the previous Morales right, which we always saw as an overhand force. He's altered his game a little bit for the southpaw, and it's working big time.
He's working very close. Even though he's the taller fighter, he's fighting in a closer position. And physically, when they collide, it's seemingly he's much stronger than Kelley, even though Kelley has been the featherweight throughout his career.
Well, you anticipated something I was about to ask you, Emmanuel. You wonder if Morales, like Trinidad, is actually going to be a better fighter at the higher weight.
Well, he's probably been a featherweight for a long time, and that's what's been his handicap in his other previous fights.
That he had to strip down those last 4 pounds.
So you're suggesting that Morales Barrera at 126 might look different than it looked at 122, but more on that later.
Loose, this a little tight, isn't this? This a little tight? Okay, I need to see his face right now. I need to see his face. Look up at me. Rinse this out, and I need to look right in the eyes. Look at me, look at me. You're just getting into your mode. Relax. We're not in a hurry. Mira, we're not in a hurry. Do you understand?
Okay. You need to move to his left, and we still need that distance. He's very defensive. Make sure you try to hit him in the body so you can weaken him.
Here is the Mr. Right of Erik Morales. One of the best pure punches in the game.
Let's go. Well said. Round 3 begins, and you heard Phil Borgia saying to Kevin Kelley, we're not in a hurry, but already he's behind 2 rounds, so if they have a plan, it must be to set up a knockout in the late rounds. Meanwhile, I think Morales wanted to come out and put some leather on Kelley early to blunt his hopes and create uncertainty in his mind.
Yes, Kelley does have the power and the experience to still possibly score an upset. He's not out of the fight. He's very much in the fight. And it's interesting that the way that Morales is fighting is exactly what I feel is the proper way, and his corner wants him to fight at a longer distance.
Kelley switches to a conventional stance. Now back to southpaw. Now to a conventional stance. Now back to southpaw. Hard left to the body by Morales as Kelley was switching to a conventional stance again. Morales seizing the moment to fire in and drive that left hook.
But it's interesting that every time that Morales gets hit with a punch, he retaliates right away.
Always. Straight left hand lands for Kelley. Effective landed punches have been few and far between for Kelley, but he's starting to loosen up the left just a little bit.
Oh, a lot of power punch in this round. The big question is, how long can he maintain it? If he can maintain this tempo, it would be a very interesting fight.
Break! Well, he is a relaxed fighter, and he said to us yesterday in the meeting that maybe the scenario would be something like George Foreman against Michael Moorer. And of course, you'll recall that Foreman lost the first 9 rounds to Moorer rather one-sidedly. So he's following the script so far.
Every time Morales throws the left jab now, he's coming back. Kelley is coming back with his own left.
Yes.
Right there again. Done it 4 times in a row.
And there's the overhand right and a right uppercut. And Kevin Robert through the ropes.
But the experienced fighter that he is, you notice Kelley grabbed and tied up his man and clinched him and tried to smother him.
And now comes back with a left to try to back Morales up. Right! Step out, step out, I thought for a moment I was going to have Kevin in my lap here.
Kevin is counter-punching every time that Morales shoots his jab. He's countering with his own straight left. But it's just a matter of youth against a fighter who has had a lot of rough fights, and going down the stretch, I think the young fighter is just going to be a little too strong.
Too much. Swelling just outside the right eye of Morales, though, as he goes to his corner.
Don't despair. You got him now. All he's trying to do is survive. Don't despair.
Do you understand?
I got you. I feel it.
Okay? All right? Keep your flow going. Everything comes off sugar. And then your hands come natural, just like we've been doing. Okay? He's dropping his left hand. Every time. You understand?
Bueno, prepáralo. Prepáralo. Cuando lo tocan, no te le pegues tanto.
Why would Morales be despairing, as they indicated in his corner? Did he expect a knockout in the first minute and a half of the fight?
I think they may have expected that, but you know, by his own admission yesterday, he said he was going to have problems the first 3 or 4 rounds. Kelley's fighting a very good fight, and a guy that has not as good a chin as Morales, he may have knocked him down by now, because Kelley's landed some pretty good shots himself. But Morales has proven in the Barrera fight that he does have a very good chin.
Harold Letterman, how do you have it through the first 3 rounds?
Okay, Jim. 3-0, 30-27. Erik Morales. You know, Jim, I hate to say it. I don't think Kevin's fighting a good fight at all. He's getting beat up. I mean, he's moving to the left, right into Erik Morales' powerful right hand. It's the wrong way to go. You know, on pure punching, Erik's murdering him. And Kevin doesn't have anything to hurt Erik with. It's all Erik Morales.
You heard Phil Borgia telling Kelley between rounds, Morales is dropping his left hand every time. It would be better for Kelley if Morales would drop his right hand and make room for Kelley's left.
Don't push down.
It looks as if both fighters are looking for knockouts. Neither one is prepared to win a decision.
Or maybe Morales feels it's so easy to win a decision in this circumstance that he can go ahead and fight for the knockout because he's winning every round anyway.
You know, Kevin Kelley has a good record as a puncher himself.
No question about it. Well, there's no question in my mind that if Kevin has a script for winning the fight, it is by KO. He's going to have to put Morales on his back at some point to win this fight.
It seems that he's looking to try to land a good straight left hand punch to try to knock out Morales.
No punching, step back.
It's interesting because Kevin wants to counter everything Erik throws, and Erik wants to counter when Kevin throws at him.
Yes.
So it's counter, counter, counter.
But in the close quarters, though, Morales is much more effective.
Too quick.
In addition to the straight right hand, he also has a good right uppercut, where Kelley's punch has primarily been just as simply the straight left. He hasn't even utilized his right jab too much effectively.
Morales' pace slowing considerably now in the 4th round. And you mentioned at the beginning of the fight, he's a set-the-pace fighter. As his pace slows, Kelley gets these chances.
Yes, and what happens once you get hit, it gives him new energy.
Oh, it looks like he wakes him up. He was trying to trap Kelley into coming at him.
And he got it done.
Break! Let go of him.
He laid a trap, and Kevin walked right into it.
Yes, he did.
All right, tune in Tuesday, September 12th for the next edition of Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel. Among the stories, a look at gymnastics coach Bella Caroli, who's been able to develop Olympic winners, but with controversial methods. Also, a profile of Washington Redskins owner Daniel Snyder, raising eyebrows with his aggressive methods from signing free agents to charging to watch practice. We'll soon see if this brings an immediate championship. Real Sports, where nothing is out of bounds. Floyd Mayweather Sr. sitting below Morales' corner as Erik Morales' father does the talking to the fighter between rounds.
Come on. I got it.
Let's go, Miguel. Let's go, Miguel. Let's go.
Mayweather Sr. speaks limited Spanish. Morales speaks limited English. CompuBox numbers through round 4, supporting Harold's card. Morales 53 of 169, 31%. Kevin Kelley 34 out of 214, landing only 16% of his punches. And it's interesting that the CompuBox numbers show Kelley throwing more punches because it feels like Morales sets the pace.
Yes.
Break! No punching, no punching.
But you saw the experience of Kelley as he was punching and pivoted and spinning off, where Morales couldn't sustain a good attack.
There's a big counter left by Kelley. Morales has a pretty doggone good chin.
Well, I tell you what, I have to give Kelley credit too. He's taking some good shots tonight. This is turning out to be a good fight, and it's not a boxing match. It's two guys who are going for knockouts.
How about Morales starting to mix in the left hook, and with terrific effect here.
That's a new weapon. Primarily, Morales is a right-hand puncher, and that's what was Barrera was so effective in his fight with him, because he trained to neutralize Morales' right hand, and that was a very effective move, and it prevented Morales from being so effective with Barrera.
Hard left hand by Morales knocks Kevin Kelley's chin up in the air. Kevin guarding and going down. Just too many punches.
It was the body punch that sank him.
Yes.
7, 8. Come to me, Kevin. Come to me.
Kelley talking to Lawrence Cole.
A long time to go.
I think his head is clear.
Yeah, his head is clear. I just think that body punch took the wind out of him. And whether it was voluntary or not, it was wise for him to go down.
Oh, there's a big right hand.
Yes.
Kevin takes that one pretty well. Comes back countering with his left. Now jabbing to try to keep Morales at bay.
But this still is a dangerous fight for Morales also, because this is stage. Kelley is still punching with full power.
Absolutely. Kevin trying to counter Morales' big right hand with a big left of his own.
I think after this fight, no one can question not only the guts, but also the chin of Kevin Kelley.
He's taking some massive shots.
Oh, yes, yes.
Well, this is becoming a mini Barrera Morales right here.
Para abajo la cabeza, sí.
Okay, let's get some more on his head here. We need to rub him down.
Ahí está, muy bien. Respirando duro. Respirando duro.
No le tires ya, no le tires.
Evita estar con él y quedar en clinch para los uppers. Él está aprovechando hombros y codos para cuando te puedas en upper. Que ahora se quedó, doctor. Es muy bien.
The body punch that will set it all up, coming after that big right hand. Boom, 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 boom. I'm going to shoot you right down, as the great John Hooker once sang.
Would that be John Lee Hooker?
Yeah, John Lee Hooker, indeed. Right to the body, right to the head.
21 of Morales' 25 connections in round 5 by CompuBox numbers were power shots. Erik Morales is a brilliantly talented fighter, but you watch this fight and you have to ask two questions. How long will his career last if he continues to casually take power shots from his opponents the way he's doing here and the way he has done in other fights? And could he take those power shots from Prince Naseem Hamed, who looms as his biggest competition in this division?
And also, I have to point out, Naseem Hamed is probably one of the biggest punchers in the history of the featherweight division. Regardless of what his other shortcomings may be, he's a tremendous puncher.
So if Morales allowed himself to take power shots from Naz the way he has from Barrera and Kelley,
that's true, you know, but also Morales is a good puncher himself.
I know.
You know, so if he led first, Naz could be in trouble, but it's going to be a very interesting fight.
I can't wait to see it. Come on, Naz, take one of these fights. Morales was quite upset at our suggestion on the telecast of Prince Naseem's fight that he had turned down the opportunity to fight Naz. Basically, Morales said, hey, look, they never made an official offer, and I didn't have to deal with an official offer. We'll fight him when the time comes, just you wait and see.
And their timetable is not until next spring or summer, actually.
Lawrence Cole warning Morales not to hold Kelley behind the head. Kevin's right eye is beginning to swell as Morales tags him with a right to the chin, and Kelley comes back with a counter left.
Not too many people in any of the fights that these warriors have ever asked for their money back after watching them fight.
This has turned out to be a good fight and very few clinches, too. Both of these guys are punching, and I'm really surprised, I'll be honest, at the punches that Kelley has taken. He's been taking some unbelievable punches, especially having not been that active the last couple of years.
Well, as Kevin Kelley said, hey, I grew up on the streets of Queens. Does he think I'm not tough enough for him? You watch.
Oh, my God. Well, I tell you what, he hasn't had anything tougher in Queens than he has tonight in this ring here down in El Paso.
Yeah, that's right. Because Morales grew up in the toughest section of Tijuana. Try that one.
Yeah, that's a tough city, too. That's
Let's keep it clean, Kevin.
Twin attractions. Our first ever ring card twins, Yolaila and Yolanda Ortiz. Yet another reason to come to El Paso for round 7.
I need a combination. I need a lefty. When you make him miss his right hand. He's wide open.
I got too many things to
left hand and the uppercut.
Here's Morales with Mr. Right, Mr. Left. How much is Kevin Kelley willing to take?
How do you have it scored through 6, Harold?
Okay, Jim, I got it 6-0, 60-53. Erik Morales. You got to give him an extra point for that knockdown in round 5. So far, Erik Morales winning this fight basically on clean, effective, strong punching. Nothing else. Clean punching, Jim.
I'll bet you anything, incidentally, Larry, no matter how many punches Kevin takes, and win or lose, he'll be in the bar at the hotel tonight to talk about it.
And he'll talk all the way to the bar and all the way when he leaves the bar.
And he'll close the bar.
You know, it's
not to suggest that he spends a lot of time at bars.
No, he's just the most gregarious animal in the sport, that's all.
And you know, it's interesting, even though on Harold's scorecard he's lost all of the rounds, a lot of people don't understand what that means. It means that the rounds have been, some of them good rounds, but nevertheless there was a winner and there was a loser. But many people would be upset at hearing that because they say, well, this has been a tough fight. But even though Kelley's fighting a good fight and has his moments, still the majority of the round is dominated by Morales.
Because exchanges like this show Morales' tenacity and determination.
Larry, the question that you had earlier that you put to Kevin Kelley now is coming to the surface.
Are you willing to die, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you know, he was hit with the punch that knocked him down came about 4 punches before the punch that finally got him down.
He's not firing back now. He's not firing back.
Yes, he is.
There it goes.
And he is still dangerous.
Kelley's wife, Valerie, standing up in her seat. Earlier, you heard that Yvette Manfredi ran to Angel's corner, asking that the fight be stopped. Valerie's been through this a lot.
If he doesn't return a punch, please go. That's good.
Oh, it's a big right hand that he landed to stop Morales in his tracks. There's still some fight left in the old warrior.
But he's virtually defenseless.
And he's almost blind in the right eye. And Lawrence Cole is going to stop it.
No, the round was over. The round was not over.
Bill Borza going nuts about the stoppage. Borza trying to say the round was over, apparently. Kelley's upset with the stoppage. Morales has another victory.
You know, even though he was being hit a lot, he wasn't being hit cleanly. And the fact that he would return punches still made it interesting. And he was still dangerous at this point to me.
30 seconds left in the round.
Yeah, it was more so a case of one guy seemingly being physically stronger. And Kelley's legs not being up under him sturdy enough.
I just think Lawrence Cole was uncomfortable seeing Kevin take that much punishment. Larry, what'd you think?
I think it was an accumulation of his perceptions that this is not going to ever change. And let's give Kevin all of his due. He committed as much as he could. He went as far as he could.
Just like Manfredi earlier, he's a pro. A total professional, Kevin Kelley. But Erik Morales takes another step forward. And because one of the governing bodies, in the wake of Espadas's departure from the fight, worried that Morales and his Mexican fans would be upset that he wasn't fighting for a title, they decided to designate it as, quote, an interim title fight, so he can now say that he's won a title at 126 pounds. Of course, in our view, the title holder at 126 pounds is Prince Nassim Hamed until somebody beats him. Let's take a look at the replays, starting with the knockdown, Larry.
Yeah, Jim, I thought there was a terrific right hand right there. And Kevin was already out of it and just punching back reflexively. And it was just a matter of time till he went down because Morales gave him no rest. Morales used to be a boxer puncher. He has become a boxer brawler and feels invincible.
Right.
Boxer brawler, though. I mean, he would go in against Prince Nassim, Emmanuel, it seems to me, and he would want to fight a war.
I think it would end up being a war because he has that much confidence in his punching power is what that says to me. He feels that physically he can overpower most of the guys that he fight, and also I think he has confidence in his ability to take a punch.
And Naz would welcome a war, wouldn't he?
It would be a great fight. It would be an exciting fight because...
Now here's another look at the end of the fight. Phil Borgia, the trainer for Kevin Kelley, jumped up on the ring apron and heatedly went after referee Lawrence Cole, claiming that the round was over. But we're looking at the official clock right next to us. There were 30 seconds remaining in the round. Here's what you're talking about. Not all of the punches landing cleanly. Cole electing to stop it. You're saying, Emmanuel, that it could have gone on. Let's hear if there's an accidental bell. Well, there Kevin was definitely throwing back. Now listen up.
Well, you know, one of the things that a referee is instructed to, that if an opponent is on the ropes, and if it wasn't for the ropes being there, do you think he would have fell down? And that is probably what he considered also, that the ropes was holding him up and he was not returning punches.
Official scorecards saw Morales well in front, 59-54, 60-52, 60-53. He, in effect, had the fight won on the scorecards. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official particulars on the stoppage.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Lawrence Cole steps in and calls a halt to the contest. The official time, 2 minutes, 30 seconds of round number 7. The winner, who is now the interim champion de Zona Norte, Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico, Erik El Terrible Morales.
Final CompuBox numbers. Kevin Kelley got off to a very slow start in punch stat numbers, but eventually heated up a little bit, landing 75 out of 362 and upping his percentage to 21%. Morales helped make that possible for him because as Erik saw himself more and more dominant in the fight, he simply opened up, threw power punches, left opportunities for Kevin to counter, but clearly felt as though he was the stronger fighter and was going to go forward. Let's go to Larry Merchant in the ring with the winner.
Thank you, Jim. Congratulations, Erik. Do you feel that you are a stronger fighter now at featherweight?
¿Se siente que eres un peleador más fuerte hoy en día en el peso pluma?
Yo creo que sí. Yo creo que hemos mejorado un poco con los 4 libras que tuvimos ahora de ventaja.
Yeah, absolutely so. The 4 pounds have helped me a lot. I feel stronger.
Creo que me vi un poco más rápido que otras veces.
And I looked a lot faster today than usually.
Were you surprised that a veteran fighter like Kevin Kelley was able to stand up to your punches for so long?
Sorprendió que un veterano como Kevin Kelley te pudo aguantar todos tus golpes fuertes por tanto tiempo.
Oh, creo que sí. Yo creo que es un peleador que sabe mucho. Creo que al inicio me estaba manejando para atacar en los últimos rounds.
Yeah. He's a good fighter and a veteran that knows all around. In the beginning, he was moving around, and then then I had to go after him in the later rounds.
Do you feel now that you are more of a offensive?
Bueno, antes que nada, porque no le vas a acabar la entrevista. Quiero dar las gracias al señor Bob Arum por esta oportunidad.
He wants to acknowledge and thank Bob Arum for this opportunity.
A quien le dedico esta pelea, que es una persona que me ha apoyado mucho en mi carrera.
And I want to dedicate this fight to Bob Arum because he has always supported me.
Y quiero decirle que espero responderle a la gente como gran mexicano.
And I want to tell him that I want to respond to the people like a great Mexican.
All right. Erik, were you ever hurt by any of his punches? Fighting for the first time, an experienced full featherweight?
¿Alguna vez te hirió con los golpes, te hizo daño? Porque él es un pluma verdadero.
No, creo que en algunas veces me conectó, pero no nada serio.
He hit me a few times, he's caught me a few shots, but nothing serious, nothing hurt.
What are your plans for the future? You've talked about wanting a rematch with Barrera. You've talked about wanting to fight Hamed. There's been a little confusion about what your plans exactly are. Who would you like to fight next?
¿Cuáles son tus planes para el futuro? Tú has dicho que quisiera una revancha con Barrera o una pelea con Hamed. ¿Quién es que tú quieres en el futuro?
Realmente yo creo que los dos son buenos peleadores y quiero enfrentarlos a los dos.
I believe they're both good fights. They're both good fighters, and I want to face both of them.
Porque yo no le tengo miedo a ninguno de ellos.
Because I'm not afraid of either one of them.
Porque en 122, casi muriendo, me peleé contra Barrera.
Because at 122 pounds, almost dying to make that weight, I fought Barrera, and you saw the fight.
126, estoy listo para Margot.
At 126 pounds, I'm listening to Barrera, Hamed, or anyone.
Thank you very much. Again, congratulations. All right, Jim.
All right, thank you very much, Larry. Emmanuel, the wonderful part of having you as expert commentator is that you have been both a great trainer and a great manager, and I can pick on you for training Prince Nassim Hamed. But Larry alluded to the two huge fights that are on the table for Morales, a rematch with Marco Antonio Barrera, now 4 pounds farther north at 126, and the match against Prince Nassim Hamed. If you're managing or promoting Morales, in which order do you want to take those fights?
Well, I would have Hamed probably first because Hamed is like hitting the lottery for all of the featherweights. Everything centers around Prince Nassim Hamed. But by the same token, Hamed may have his shortcomings, but he still is the most dangerous single punch boxer, I think, in boxing today, and that bar is probably the heavyweight.
You mean the hardest puncher for his weight?
For his weight, I think he is. He punches tremendous with one punch. But Corrales is a dangerous fight, but no one brings the money to the table. You mean
Barrera?
Barrera.
Yeah.
But no one brings the money to the table that comes with Hamed.
So in other words, don't let the money get away. By losing to Morales, go ahead. I mean, by losing to Barrera, go ahead and fight Hamed now.
I think if they fight at a different weight, I think that Morales would beat Barrera because, first of all, I think it's more his natural weight. And also, I believe that Barrera still is nothing but a junior featherweight.
I think that's the gamble he's going to take. I have the sense that they're going to take the gamble that they can beat Barrera at 126, then fight Hamed for even bigger dollars, but we'll wait and see. Meanwhile, let's go back into the ring for Larry and hear what Kevin Kelley has to say.
All right, thank you again, Jim. Kevin, it seemed that you gave it your best shot, but he just had too many shots on you at the end of the night.
I could have given it a better shot. The problem, like I said, you know, make no excuse, no regret. I want to say School of Hard Knocks, who sticks behind me. I like my career, School of Hard Knocks, baby. I want to say, you know, Juice Plus, another endorsement. But the bottom line is that tonight, you know, with all the extras I have in boxing, all the experience I got in boxing, tonight, my body just was 33, and my brain was 22. And tonight, my back leg, making no excuses. He's a great young fighter. The bottom line is he didn't hit as hard as I expected. I expected him to hit a lot harder. I was taking his best shot. I was just telling him, go ahead, you're going to knock me out. And I was going down pretty much, not from the punches. I was going down because he was throwing so many punches.
From exhaustion.
To get out the way.
Yeah.
Just to get out the way.
All right. Is Hamed a bigger puncher than him, having fought him?
Yes, he is. Morales, I think, is going to grow to be a strong featherweight. Right now, he's not a strong featherweight. That's why I wanted to exchange with him. I wanted to get exchange because I felt I was the harder puncher of the two.
What happens between Hamed and Morales?
That's all up to Hamed. You know, I mean, the bottom line tonight, I used a lot of tactics that Hamed be using. I switched lefty-righty. But my back leg started cramping up. I could not do that no longer. So I think that Morales and Hamed, I know it. You can't pick fights. You can pick horseshoes. And the bottom line is that Morales and Hamed are both two gallant warriors. And I believe that Hamed's got the experience and the agility to beat Morales.
Is this the end of the road for you?
Possibly could be. You know, like I said, you know, I go home, I won't contemplate it. I got KO Nation next week. I'll see you guys there. You know, ATN, the Black Rhinos fighting. Bronco McCartan, Wiki Wright. It's the wit still sharp.
All right, keep talking, Kevin. Keep talking. Okay. Keep going. Back to you, Jim.
Emmanuel, a line on Kevin Kelley and what he has meant to featherweights and lower weight class fighters in the last several years.
I think he's been great for boxing, in particular for the smaller division. And the fight tonight, I think he probably enriching his image and his history of spot. I think it was a good fight, and I don't think he embarrassed himself at all, and he's probably more respected as a result of the fight he had tonight.
All right. Well, we'll have a final word on what happened here in the ring. when we come back. Well, actually, right now we're not going to go away. We'll save that promo for a moment because we have something special. The biggest news in boxing this past week outside the ring, the lawsuit filed by Oscar De La Hoya to try to dissolve his longtime relationship with the promoter who has guided his enormously successful career, Bob Arum. Arum now agrees to talk with Larry about that subject. Larry?
All right, thank you, Jim. Bob, you and Oscar have made a great deal of money for each other. Why do you think he wants to separate from you now?
Well, I think when it all comes out, it's going to be really shocking because there are people involved here with Oscar who are advising Oscar, who are doing something that they're going to pay for in very, very serious damages.
Are you suggesting that there are people trying to steal him as a fighter, or that he's trying to eliminate promoters from his profile?
First of all, I have to say, in favor of my colleagues, my other promoters, no boxing promoters involved. None. Not this time. But there are internet interests that want to steal them away, not only from Top Rank, but from Time Warner Sports, HBO, and TVKO. And Larry,
how does this play into the possible rematch with Mosley? Is this going to delay it interminably, or are you going to be able to reach a settlement?
Well, I hope that we can get it done. But I must say, Larry, there are bigger issues here, really bigger issues, one of which is that a contract is a contract, and you don't walk out in a contract when you want to.
Just as final question, does this mean you have to return the gold medal from the Olympics that he gave to you several years ago in appreciation for your good work?
Well, you know, Oscar's a nice young man, and I think he's going to come to his senses, and I think he's going to put back what he had, which made him so much money, and I hope that we can arrange for him to fight Shane Mosley sometime in the near future. Maybe not in January, but sometime in the near future.
Thank you very much, Bob. Just this last word, Jim, about Kevin Kelley. You know, there comes a time when you want to sing So Long It's Been Good to Know You. And I think Kevin Kelley himself was saying that tonight. He doesn't want to be an opponent. He doesn't want to have to take beatings. His body betrayed him tonight. He was 33 years old. He's conquered. He's been conquered. He's talked. He is unquenchable. He is irresistible. Life will go on, and he's been a great ambassador and fighter for the game.
His body may have betrayed him, but his heart never will, and his mouth certainly never will. Meanwhile, great interview. And stay tuned to see what happens in the ongoing soap opera now between boxing's richest non-heavyweight and one of its richest promoters. And one more piece of business. We asked you on our website to vote and tell us who is the best 126-pound fighter in the world. And as you can see, although Kevin Kelley favored Prince Nassim Hamed to beat Erik Morales if they ever meet, you viewers felt differently, a plurality choosing Morales with 40% over Barrera with 32%, and Nassim with only 28% as the best 126-pound fighter in the world. Emmanuel, go report the results to your guy. I'm sure they'll give him great incentive. We'll have a final word on what happened in the ring in just a moment. Right now, let's look ahead to some upcoming programs on HBO.
Suppose you steal a rock.
Come here, gorgeous.
You hide it, they catch you, and now that you're back on the street and you want it back, guess where it is?
Is this really a police station?
Of course.
Pizza delivery, robbery, homicide.
There's two kinds of people that get through that door. People wearing handcuffs, people wearing a badge.
You're the new lead detective.
Me?
It's okay. I'm a cop.
Damn. Martin Lawrence.
I'm an officer of the law.
Blue Streak.
Gotta go.
Premieres Saturday, September 9th on HBO.
Listen up, y'all. Are you ready for KO Nation? Check this. Yo, I'm Ed Lover. I'll be your host going coast to coast to bring you boxing like you've never seen it before. Saturday afternoons will never be the same. So touch gloves, keep it real, and definitely obey my commands at all times. Don't miss the next KO Nation. Live at a special time for boxing, Saturday, September 9th at 5 p.m. on HBO. On the ropes, off the hook.
After that KO Nation broadcast September 9, TV KO pay-per-view offers you Roy Jones against Erik Harding. Jones, the undisputed light heavyweight champ, looks for a spectacular performance against Harding, who recently upset Antonio Tarver to get the opportunity. Also on the card, Marco Antonio Barrera, whom we've talked about so much tonight, against Jose Luis Valbuena. Tune in this Thursday to Inside the NFL, cable TV's longest-running show. Besides highlights of tomorrow's opening games in the NFL, you'll get to see our newest star, Dan Marino, giving his opinions along with Len Dawson, Chris Collinsworth, Nick Bonacani, and Jerry Glanville this and every Thursday throughout the season, only on HBO. An identical twin doubleheader in El Paso tonight, and the two young superstars both managed to win against highly professional opposition. Diego Corrales flashing his extraordinary power at 130 pounds, pounding Angel Manfredi out in the third round. A good stoppage because Manfredi would have taken more punishment. He would never quit as the fight went on. Corrales stays unbeaten. So too does 126-pound star Erik Morales, who pounded away at Kevin Kelley and took some big shots in return before finally getting the stoppage. Morales knocking Kelley down and then pounding him against the ropes as referee Lawrence Cole saw fit to step in and bring it to a halt. Coming up immediately following our show, stay tuned for a command performance of this season's final episode of Odds. And now for the entire HBO crew, I'm Jim Lampley saying so long from El Paso, Texas. The executive producer of HBO Sports is Ross Greenberg. Tonight's edition of Boxing After Dark, produced by Dave Harmon and directed by Mike Sheehan. Associate directors Max Siegel and Mike Whalen. Assistant to the producer Thomas Huffine. Production manager Mark Hayden. Technical supervisor Roy Otaki. And the technical director was Doug Getz.
This has been a presentation of HBO Sports, the network of champions.